My name is Martina, and I want to share a part of my life with you. A story about love, money, and the hard lessons I learned the tough way. I grew up in a rich world. Our house was huge, full of all the fancy things you can think of, and my family had a lot of money. From the outside, my life looked perfect. People often said how lucky I was, and in many ways, they were right. I had parents who loved me, great schools, nice clothes, and trips to amazing places. But even with all that, the big house often felt empty. I felt alone a lot. Money, I learned, could buy lots of stuff, but it couldn't buy real friends or true love. I was a shy kid, always wondering if people liked me for who I was or just for my family's money. This made me quiet and careful. I found comfort in books where stories were simple, love was real, and people were honest. I wanted a life like that, a life based on true feelings. When I was 23, my parents took me to an art show opening. I didn't know many people there, so I stood looking at a painting of a calm sea. Then a man came up to me. He was tall, with kind eyes and a soft smile. He looked at the painting, then at me. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said, his voice calm. "Yes," I said back. "It makes me feel peaceful." He told me his name was Dante. We started talking, not about my family's money or work, but about art, the sea, our favorite books, and our dreams. He listened, really listened, in a way no one else ever did. Most guys I met talked about shallow things, but Dante talked about feelings and simple joys. He said he worked for a small company, didn't have much money, but loved his job, and thought happiness was way more important than being rich. His words touched me deeply. They felt honest and true. We met again at a small, simple cafe. We talked for hours, and he made me laugh. With Dante, I felt totally at ease, able to be myself without pretending or worrying. He told me I was beautiful, that I had a kind heart, and that he liked my quiet ways. My heart felt full of warmth. For the first time, I really believed someone might like me, Martina, not my family's money. Our relationship grew. We took walks in the park, went to museums, and sat by the river. He never asked for anything, never talked about my family's wealth. Our dates felt equal and normal. My parents met him. My dad, who was always careful, asked Dante a lot of questions, but Dante answered politely and with respect. My mom, though, was won over. "He makes you smile, Martina," she said, and she was right. I smiled more with Dante. I felt happy and full of hope. After a year, Dante asked me to marry him. We were on a park bench, the same spot as one of our first dates. He took my hand. "I know I don't have much," he said softly. "No big house or fancy cars, but I love you for who you are. Will you marry me?" Tears ran down my face, happy tears. This was everything I had ever wanted, someone who loved me for me. "Yes, Dante," I said. "Yes, I will marry you." Our wedding was big and fancy, paid for by my parents. It was a beautiful day with flowers, music, and loved ones. I wore a long white dress, and Dante looked so handsome. When he said "I do," I believed him with all my heart. I thought my dream of a simple, loving life was finally starting. I was wrong. Terribly wrong. After the wedding, we moved into a beautiful, fancy house my parents bought for us. Dante seemed happy, and so was I. The first few weeks were perfect, but then small changes started. Dante quit his job, saying he wanted to spend more time with me and start his own small business.
I thought it was sweet, and I was happy to support us with the money my family gave me each month. But then he started buying expensive things: a bright red sports car, designer clothes, watches. When I asked about it, he'd say we deserved nice things, and that my parents' wedding money and my allowance could pay for it. I felt a little worried, but pushed it away, wanting him to be happy. He began going out more, saying it was for business meetings, coming home late, smelling like fancy restaurants. When I asked about his day, his answers were unclear and far away. He also started asking about my family's money more and more. "How much is your dad's company worth? Will you get everything someday?" he'd ask. My stomach would feel tight. Before we got married, he never cared about money. He said happiness was the most important thing. One afternoon, looking for a pen in his desk, I found a hidden stack of papers under old files. They were bills, credit card statements, loan papers, showing Dante owed thousands and thousands of dollars, debts from before we even met. My hands shook. He had told me he didn't have much money, but he never said he was deep in debt. Why did he hide it? That evening, I faced him. "Dante, what is this?" I asked, my voice shaking. His face got hard. "Why were you looking through my desk? Don't you trust me?" he snapped. "I found them by accident. Why didn't you tell me about these debts?" He sighed, calling them old news, something he was going to handle. "Handle it how?" I pushed. "With my money," he said, stepping closer, his voice cold. "It's our money now, isn't it? That's what marriage is. We share everything." His words made me feel cold inside. Suddenly, all the expensive buys made sense. Was he using my money to pay off his old debts? I felt confused and hurt. Part of me wanted to believe the kind man I thought I knew, but fear knotted in my stomach. From that day, things got worse fast. He became bossy about money, wanting to see my bank papers and asking
me to send big amounts to his account for his business. When I paused, he'd get mad. "Don't you support my dreams? Don't you want me to succeed? It's for us, Martina." He started criticizing my friends, calling them snobs, and tried to keep me away from my parents, saying they got in the way too much. I felt stuck, alone in my beautiful house, just like my childhood home. But worse, I was alone with someone who made me feel small and scared. I cried in my bedroom, my wedding ring feeling heavy, wondering if this was really love. One night, he came home very late, stumbling and smelling of alcohol. "Where have you been?" I asked quietly. "Out," he slurred, "celebrating. My business deal went through." "What deal?" I asked, confused. He laughed, a cold, mean sound. "You don't need to know the details, little rich girl. Just know that soon we'll have even more money. Your father's money." My blood felt ice cold. "What are you talking about?" He swayed toward me, his face twisted, his eyes hard and strange. "Don't pretend you don't know. Why else would a man like me marry someone like you? Your family name, your family money. That's the real prize." I stared at him, completely broken. You married me for my money?" I whispered, barely able to speak. He laughed again. "Of course. Did you really think it was for your charming personality? You naive Martina, so easy to fool." The words hit me like punches. Everything fell apart. The walks, the talks, the soft voice, the kind eyes. It was all a lie, a show, a mean trick. He didn't love me. He never had. He loved my money. I stood there, my legs shaking, wanting to scream, to run, but I was stuck, staring at the stranger who had totally broken my heart. He saw how destroyed I looked and tried to take it back, but it was too late. I had heard the ugly, painful truth. That night, I locked myself in a guest room, crying until the sun came up. I cried for the love I thought I had, for my broken dreams, and for my own silly blindness. How could I have not seen it? All the signs were there. His sudden care about money, the too much spending, the hidden debts, his tries to keep me alone. I had ignored them, so desperate to believe in the happy story. But with the morning came something new, a cold, quiet anger. He had used me, played with my feelings, lied from the start. Looking in the mirror, I saw a pale, tired woman, but my eyes had a new strength. I was Martina, and I would not let him destroy me. I was stronger than he thought. I called my father, my voice shaking but strong, and told him everything. He listened without saying much, then said, "Martina, I am so sorry. We will handle this. You are not alone." His support made me feel stronger. He told me not to face Dante again and called our family lawyer right away. Dante tried to say sorry, saying he was drunk, but I didn't open the door. I saw through his tricks now. His eyes were no longer kind, but sneaky. My father and our lawyer came soon, meeting with Dante in the study. I stayed upstairs, not wanting to see him. A few hours later, my father came to me. "It's done, Martina," he said gently. "Dante has agreed to leave. He signed the papers. We made it clear he would get nothing more from you or this family." He explained that with proof of his debts and lies, Dante had no choice. A huge wave of relief came over me. It was over. That afternoon, Dante packed his bags. He didn't look at me as he walked out the door. The man I married, the man who lied to me, was gone. The house was quiet, but this time, the quiet didn't feel empty. It felt peaceful. It felt safe. The weeks and months after were really hard. My heart was hurt badly. Feeling foolish and tricked is a deep pain. I spent a lot of time alone, reading, walking in the gardens, thinking about it all. Why had I fallen for his lies? Was it because I was lonely? A strong wish for love? I realized my money had made me an easy target. Dante saw my wealth as something to take, my quiet ways as weakness, thinking I would be easy to control. But he was wrong. I found a strength I never knew I had. I may have been too trusting, but I learned. I learned that trust has to be earned, and true love is built on being honest and respecting each other, not just words or gifts. I started doing things for myself. I joined a pottery class. Working with clay, making something with my own hands felt real and steady. I got back in touch with my true friends, those who liked me long before Dante, who didn't care about my money. They listened, helped me, and never judged. I also started helping at a local animal shelter, finding joy in caring for animals who gave kindness without asking for anything. Slowly, I started to heal. The pain didn't go away completely, but it got smaller, like a scar, a reminder of an important lesson. I learned that my worth isn't in my bank account. It's in my heart, my kindness, and the strength I found when I was really tested.
Sometimes people ask if I'll ever trust or love again. I don't know yet. Maybe someday. But I know this. I will be more careful. I will listen to my head as well as my heart. I will look for honesty and kindness above everything else. My big house no longer feels empty. It feels like my space, a safe place where I can really be myself. This experience was really painful, but it taught me a key truth. Money cannot buy love, and lies cannot build a life. True happiness comes from inside, from knowing and valuing yourself, and from building a life based on truth and respect. My story is a warning. Be careful who you trust. Look deeper than nice words
and easy smiles. But it is also a story of hope. Even after being hurt deeply, you can heal. You can find your strength. You can build your own happiness. I am Martina. A man married me for my money and broke my heart, but he didn't break me. I am stronger now, ready to live my life on my own terms. And you too can be strong. Remember that you are always stronger than you think.